Bam. Hey, what's up? What's up? That's terrible. Very, very blurred. Ah, that looks bad. Let's see here. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Hope that looks a little better. Not much better, though. Okay. Let's get it cracking. Okay. Just trying to make sure I'm good to go here. Man, something about that camera just doesn't look right today. Um, okay, all right. Welcome to the Great Debate Show. I'm here to start the week off again early on a Monday. Grand Rising Kings and Queens. I hope all is well with you today. I want to talk about quite a few things here, and I want to kind of start with what do I want to start with? I want to talk about the Western Conference Finals. We've got it set now for both sides, Eastern and Western. We've got the Timberwolves and the OKC Thunder. OKC Thunder Game 7 yesterday. Talk about that game. It wasn't much of a game, but we'll definitely talk about it. How do they match up now, the Thunder and the Wolves, for the Western Conference Finals? I will also talk about the Eastern Conference Finals. Knicks, Pacers, who do you like? The first game starts tomorrow. I may actually wait till tomorrow to give my prediction. I don't know. The more I talk, I may talk myself into saying it now. But Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals, we're going to get to it. Brock Purdy got paid Friday evening. A lot of people talked about it, but most people are just beginning to do so to start this week because that happened right before the weekend started. I see what the Niners were doing when they done that. But we'll talk about his 5-year, $265 million contract with $181 million guaranteed. Was he overpaid or underpaid? We will talk about it. It's annually set at 53 per, and he is gonna be a Niner through the 2030 season. And not only did he get his money, his bag, he got a no trade clause also in the contract. So I mean, Brock Purdy got everything he wanted, I believe. I mean, maybe he would have liked to get another 6-7 million per, but he pretty much got everything that he wanted. So, with that being said, we'll talk about it. Is Purdy underpaid or overpaid? Also, Caden Clark, Angel Reese tipped off the WNBA season. They begin their second season in the WNBA, and lot of drama, a lot of tension. We knew it. The hard foul, or whatever you want to call that type of foul that happened later on in the game. Caitlin Clark and her team, Indiana Fever, had already pretty much kind of blew the doors open on Chicago Sky, but that looked like, that could have almost been something. A lot of people are saying, hey, Angel Reese took a lot of shots, and a lot of other players took shots at Caitlin Clark. She's just getting her revenge. I got a lot to say about that because there's a lot of hate going on the internet regarding Angel Reese, and I'm here to answer the question as far as, is she taking too much heat? Like, because it was pretty bad after Saturday's game and everything that was said after that. Her flopping and her just being such a jealous player, a jealous woman. Who's jealous of who? Is it really jealousy? Is it racism? We're hearing so much stuff, and what's crazy about it is that they're not making this about basketball. I mean, like, it's not even about basketball anymore, and that's what I want to discuss. Yes, Caitlin Clark has turned the WNBA around. It's evolving now. People want to see it. It's like it's cool again for some. But for the same reasons that people love to watch Caitlin Clark in the WNBA is some of the same reasons why a lot of you same people and fans say that they don't want to watch the NBA anymore because it's a dead product. They shoot too many threes. There's no mid-range. They're soft. They're flopping. They just shoot from the logo. And you like Caitlin because she shoots from the logo. The female Steph Curry is what they're calling her. And there's a lot of women in the league that seem to be jealous of her. And I don't think it's even about her being Caucasian. I think it's just about her being good. And maybe they know that she's better than them or they see it. But there's a lot of hate that Angel Reese is taking right now. She said it was a basketball play. Move on. Why are we still talking about her? Why is there so much hate involving her and the racism that I'm seeing on social media? Look, to white people. Look, you all have been watching sports for just as long as black people. We all kind of know who is a little bit more predominantly when it comes to the athleticism and all of that. But there comes a time when you all do get a Larry Bird and a Steve Nash, a Dirk Nowitzki, a Luka Doncic, and now also Jokic, and now you've got Caitlin Clark, who's in the WNBA. Nobody has turned it around or made people look at it like this. But I just think sometimes maybe a lot of people are giving her this type of treatment because they think that they overhyped her. Like, she's good, but is she that good? Why are you all making her the next big thing? And some people think it's because it's rare that you get a Caucasian that can ball like this with everybody else on the court. And, you know, they just kind of overhype it and overdo it. She's good, but some people think that they're being shoved with her name and her, you know, talents down their throats. Caitlin Clark plays on a much better team in Indiana. Angel Reese plays on a much worse team in Chicago. They're pretty trash. I watched it. Regardless of what you think about Reese, there's a lot of hate. I've read the comments. I've seen things. And so that's why it begs to ask the question, what do y'all really hate about Angel Reese? What is this all about? And would you still feel the same way about her regardless of the color of her skin? I wonder. I do wonder that. Okay. This is the Great Debate Show. Thank you for the people that are joining us, that are coming in. Look, if you get disrespectful, I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to get rid of your comment. Nobody will be able to see it. I can do that if I want to, if I feel like I need to. I'm here to say what I got to say, and I want you to listen to me as I give you this content and I give you my opinionated comments on these topics. If you don't like it, it's nothing to just click out of this and get away from it. For those of you who are here for the first time, and if you like the content that I'm providing, hit the like button while you're here and subscribe to the Great Debate Show. Drop a comment. It really does help out here with the algorithm. I'm live on YouTube right now, and I'm live on Podbean also, Podbean Live, talking about you know, pretty much everything that happened over the weekend. Brock Purdy and his contract, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, a beatdown. Another beatdown in OKC as the Thunder eliminated the Nuggets. And yeah, who's going to win these conference finals? Who are we going to have in the NBA finals? Lakita, I think that's the name. Lakita, here comes Karen. I'm not Karen, not nowhere near it at all. Are you? Where is your manager? Let me see if I can find my manager. I'm my own manager. And especially here at the Great Debate Show, where is yours? Reese just sucks at basketball, period. I'm okay with that comment. That's your opinion. If that's what you think, that's what you think. I don't think she sucks, but you're entitled to your own opinion. Also, color don't matter in my opinion. All anybody has to do is watch their game. Last game, it says it all. What does it say? It says that the Chicago Sky is trash. Her teammates are trash. Angel Reese plays a totally different position, and Caitlin Clark is a good player, phenomenal, and her team is also phenomenal. They've got a better team. So I don't think that we should be looking at who's winning that head-to-head matchup. They're trying to make this so much Magic and Bird from back in the 80s. If I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. But it's not that. Let's just let them play the game. And if Caitlin Clark beats up on Angel Reese's team 10 more times, it is what it is. But that Chicago Sky team is trash. I watched it. And I don't watch WNBA. And I didn't start watching it when they said Caitlin Clark is phenomenal. You should try it out. I finally looked at it a few times and still, like, I'm not that impressed. I still won't watch women's basketball. I just don't watch women's basketball. It has nothing to do with it being women's basketball either. I watch tennis. I love to watch one-on-one tennis, but I can't really watch NBA basketball, WNBA. I don't really watch college basketball, women or men. So it has nothing to do with it. Like, she's good, she's cool, but it doesn't have me running to the television every time they play. It doesn't have me watching. So some of the fans that say things about how nobody watched it, now everybody does, you got to speak for yourself. I still don't watch it. And I still know a lot of people in my circle that don't watch it. It's just a topic. That's it. It's just a topic, and everybody wants to talk about it because it is something worth talking about, I guess. And the only reason why I'm here to talk about it is because I don't like all of the division that I see it creates. And that's what they want, for us to be so divided continuously. Now, I'm with Kawhi Ryder, who said that it's not about color to them. And I hope that's genuine and sincere, because it ain't about that to me. I have said for a minute that girl is balling, and some of these women are just jealous of her. With that being said, we can scale back on some of the hate comments, the racist comments that have been made toward Angel Reese. And if you didn't make any of those comments, if you don't feel any type of way about her other than that she just can't play ball, or you just don't like her because she doesn't like Caitlin Clark, or you think she doesn't like Caitlin, then that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm just speaking on a lot of the hate that I saw over the internet since Saturday afternoon. It has been like, wow, this is how you all really think? We're in 2025 and it's still this bad. Yeah. If Caitlin Clark was not white, if she was black, I don't think she would be hyped up like this. It is what it is. I just don't. And finally, they've got somebody that can ball out. She is good, and they're gonna hype it up. They seems like that's just what the media does. And this isn't a knock to her. Caitlin Clark can't help it that she's good. She can't help it that she's on a better team. She can't help it that people feel whatever way they feel about her. None of this is her fault. But again, the media is really, really, really pushing that even more because of who she is and what she looks like. That's just what it is. And I think some of them know that, and that may be an issue more than just what everybody's saying. It's easy to just say, oh, they're just racist. They're hating because she can hoop and she's white. Or, oh, they're just hating because she's better than them. I think it's more of that part, the latter. However, yeah, she's just good. And I think that they're not used to that and they don't like it. And I think that's where the jealousy comes from more than anything. I don't think it's so much about, her color. But anyway, do y'all think that that's like I don't know what you all have seen, but from what I've seen, that was quite rude, quite harsh, and it doesn't make any sense to talk about people like that with your fingers. If you're not going to say that to that lady's face, a lot of these people shouldn't be saying that. The things that I've seen people text and comment on Twitter, especially on Twitter, the Bleacher Report comments after the videos, the YouTube comments, just take a scroll at some of it. Everybody saying she flopped. Everybody says she's bitter. She's a sore loser. She's this, she's that. She's hated. She's did it. Okay. They won the game. Good. Move on. But ever since Caitlin did this to Angel Reese, and Angel Reese did that back to Caitlin Clark, it's been nothing but drama. And I think that it's more about the drama than it is just them playing the basketball game. Nobody's talking about the damn game. Nobody said once, since I've heard people speaking on it, nobody has said once about where they think the Indiana Fever are going to go this year. What do the Chicago Sky need to do to be a better basketball team? They're not talking about that. Not even a progression of the game, of her game. Now, she had a triple-double, phenomenal, great game. But again, I watched it, and if you watched it too, I don't think we should be making it about this player versus that player. one player has a terrible team and the other player has a great team. And she does make them even better. But yeah, two different situations there. I'm done talking about that though. You see how much tension that creates already? I got people not wanting to come in, and I got a few people calling me Karen and asking me where my manager is. Y'all are something else. But it's so easy to be the way you are and say the things that you say from a distance with your fingers. And we need to, just come on. Let's not say anything to anyone that we wouldn't say to their face, you know? And but it's so hard to be kind these days. It's so hard to be, when you're kind, you're soft. When you're being nice and you take a lot of shit, you're a pussy. You're when you compliment somebody, you know what I'm saying, or especially the opposite sex, you're a simp. You can't do shit these days in the world in social media without them just eating you up. And that's just the world that we live in now. But I think Angel Reese is taking too much heat right now. They lost a game. She said it was a basketball move. She ain't tripping. Move on. And again, I don't think that she flopped either. I think that she just lost her balance. That kind of was a hard foul. And if she was getting her lick back, cool. Good for you, Caitlin. But she got right up immediately, Angel Reese did. And yes, she was mad. Yes, she wanted to get up in her face because she thought that was something personal. And it was, let's be honest. But, it is what it is. She got up. She said what she had to say. We move on. But yeah, let's talk more about the Indiana Fever and the season that Caitlin Clark is probably going to have and the season that the Chicago Sky need to have. What they need to do to put more talent around Angel Reese. Or if she's not that good, how did she win an NBA? How did she win a national championship at LSU? When she played on a good team, she was a champion. This team is not good. So let's see how it goes on down the road instead of us just talking about those two ladies and not talking about the actual basketball game. That's just my 2 cents, though. Now, I'm going to go on and get into this. Before I get to the basketball, I can actually stay on the basketball before I move into the Purdy talk. Let's talk about the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals real quick. This is going to be a real brawl for it all, a showdown between the Thunder and the Timberwolves. I am not sure who's going to win this right now. A part of me wants to say the Thunder because I picked the Thunder to go to the NBA Finals. I did do that. And I got to kind of stand on it. I don't want to change up or switch up on that. And they're still playing. So it makes sense to still ride with my pick. And that's OKC. I think OKC can win. I do. I think OKC can probably win this. But it may take 7. But now look at their opponent, the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Minnesota Timberwolves are playing good basketball overall as a whole. Now, Anthony Edwards, their best player on that team, has not played his best basketball. At least he didn't in the last series. He was much better in the first round than he was in the semifinal round. However, he's got to carry this team, and they're the underdogs here, and he's going to have to really persevere. He's going to have to wheel his team to victory. The things that Jokic did with the Nuggets on how they probably shouldn't have even gotten out of the first round. They were 1 game away to getting to the 3rd round. And that was just pretty much off of wheeling their team to victory, persevering everything. Aaron Gordon still playing on a grade 2 hamstring strain. They gave it their all. At least they did for half the game. The body language didn't look right. The fatigue was still there again, and I think they threw the towel in a little early. And this was a beatdown for the Nuggets. And what this says for the Nuggets is they got to do what I said they need to do. They've got to get depth. And they've got to get some more size. If they can do that, then they won't waste the rest of Nikola Jokic's prime years. And I hope that they don't do that. In order to not do that, they've got to go back and find some KCPs off that bench. Some Bruce Browns and some Jeff Greens. They need guys like that. That's how they won a championship 2 years ago. And if they're going to win another one before this is over with, they got to do that. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., what happened to these guys? Do they come back? Do they stay? Russell Westbrook's contract, what are they going to do? They got some questions to answer. And I think that Jokic pretty much controls all of that. If he goes to them and asks them who should stay, who should go, they're going to pretty much run with that. He was asked, does he think this was a championship team? And he said, apparently not. We didn't win it. We didn't win the championship, did we? So, no, I guess this isn't a championship team. We had our chances and we blew it. And I couldn't agree with him more. Not his best game either, but it wasn't the best of anybody's game. This is why I couldn't change my mind or change my pick and say the Nuggets are going to go to the finals because of their experience and because they're just Jokic is just unstoppable. But, you know, when you don't have teammates that are going to help you out consistently, you can take away the best player in the world or the best player on that team. He's one of the best players in the world. Jokic is. You can take him away when you don't get help from Murray, Porter Jr., Gordon playing on a grade 2 string. How was he able to even play that game? And we didn't see Steph Curry play at all after game 1, after his game 1 early exit. And he had a grade 1 hamstring strain. But Aaron Gordon on a grade 2 strain was able to play. I don't understand that. I give Aaron Gordon his props, but then I had to take some of that back when he talked after the game complaining about the schedule. He wished that they wouldn't play every other day in the playoffs. That's the way it always had been. That's the way it always was. I never heard Jordan or Penny Hardaway or Hakeem or Shaq or anybody complaining in the 90s about how, man, I just wish we could get another day off, like 2 days off instead of every other day. David Robinson never said that. Patrick Ewing never said that. You know, we're playing the Bulls, you know, Michael Jordan, and those guys are so tough. You know, we need 2 days off before we play the next game. And that's the reason why people talk about the players today in the NBA. For comments like that, I gave that man a lot of cool points for showing up and playing the grit and the grind, how he played that game with a grade 2 hamstring strain. All for me to take half of it or most of it back by telling us that he wished the playoff schedule was a little bit more convenient for him, for their bodies and all of that. Come on, man, stop it. So the Thunder and the Timberwolves, game 1 is tomorrow night, ESPN. Then the Eastern Conference Finals, Knicks Pacers, is Wednesday night, TNT. Reggie Miller covering the Pacers and the Knicks. Eastern Conference Finals. It feels like it's 1994 all over again. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. And I think y'all may be surprised with my prediction on who may win these series. Again, I said OKC was going to go out of the West. I got to stick with it. But I don't know if they'll win this series. Let me sleep on it a little bit more. I think if Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards, and if his teammates step it up and they continue to do what they're doing, DiVincenzo, what's his name, McDaniels, Alexander Walker, Naz Reid coming off the bench, Julius Randle, if he continues to play lights out like he's been playing lights out, man, the Thunder is going to have some problems. Now, the thing is, the Thunder can provide the size that the Timberwolves have not really seen. They've been fortunate to play teams that play more small ball than anything. But when they threw a big in, you know, they kind of struggle with it. Let's see how the Timberwolves do against Havenstein and Holmgren. That'll be interesting to see. I think the Wolves can win this series, though. I really do. I'll give my answer tomorrow, but it should be good, and I can't wait. Eastern Conference Finals, Pacers and Knicks. We have to stop sleeping on the Pacers, you all. Please, let's stop doing that. Nick is in the building, said, go Chiefs. Next year's super blow it will be 49ers versus Chiefs. I'm sure they meant to say Super Bowl. But I like how if they meant to do the supper blow it, I get that too. 49ers and Chiefs, man, people are tired of saying that though, bro. I know they are. And I'll tell you what, if my team is not getting a win at the end of that game, I don't want to see it anymore either. I'm about to get to the 49ers quarterback though in a minute, Nick. Good luck on your Chiefs this year. What do you see you all looking like record-wise? You've got your schedule out. Did you improve the O-line the way it looked like you needed to improve the O-line in that last Super Bowl? The last time we saw you all? How are you looking? You even got one of our players, left tackle Jalen Moore. Overpaid him. Good luck. Hope that works out for you. If we played again in the Super Bowl, who would win, Nick? Would y'all beat us again for a third time? I don't know if I could take that. I would rather us just go 0-17 before we go to another Super Bowl and lose, especially in the fashion that we lost our last one in. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on Podbean right now. It's the Great Debate Show, available wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, We're here. Subscribe, follow, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, and drop a comment. It helps us out here with the algorithm. Okay, so in other news, again, stop sleeping on the Pacers. I know we want the Knicks in the finals, and a lot of people are already putting the Knicks in the finals. I don't think that's a good idea. Don't overlook the Pacers. They are already playing like underdogs with chips on their shoulders, and quite frankly, they hear the noise of people not predicting them to be in anything. Oh yeah, they got here, but they've been a little lucky and fortunate with injuries that they, that other teams have had that they faced. They don't stand a chance against a healthy Knick team. This will be different. I just think we need to pump our brakes with that. Tyrese Halliburton is still on his overrate this, overrate that-ish tour. And we don't know, that tour could go all the way into June, all the way into Father's Day. And when I say tour, I mean he's on a tour right now, on a tear, and ripping people's asses up by telling people, man, look, overrate that. His peers voted him the most overrated player in the league. He has not looked like that since that poll came out. He's been making that poll look stupid and dumb as hell ever since, and that could continue. Halliburton versus Big Body Brunson, I can't wait to see it. I just can't make any predictions just yet. That's gonna be a fight, a mega fight, and it can go 7 games, no doubt about it. Look, the Pacers are young, they're full of youth, and they can run the floor with anybody, the best of them. And if you were to see the Pacers and the Thunder, 2 young teams that can run the floor, I don't know, that probably would be the best NBA Finals that we could get right now. It just depends on how you like a basketball game. I'm not sure. Your version of a good basketball playoff game, a good NBA Finals series. But those 2 teams are young and can run the floor. And I wonder, would that get them into the finals, both of them? We'll see. In other basketball news, it came out that Giannis was asked by a reporter, and I'm sure Knicks fans will love this too. They just can't lose right now. Everything is working in their favor. Somebody asked Giannis Antetokounmpo, what's his favorite city to play in on the road? And he quickly said New York. So we can't leave out the Nets fans. We can't leave out the Nets fan base and the Brooklyn Nets. I'm sure that they, the antennas raised up for them too. Like, okay, do we have a shot? They're also in New York too. But I'm sure he would much rather play with the Knicks than he would the Nets. But the fact that he said it, that is music to the New York Knicks fan base and to the Knicks front office ears. They love to hear that. I think that if the Knicks lose this series to the Pacers, or if they don't win the championship, period, you definitely can believe they're going to kick the tires on Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Karl Anthony Towns will be the one who will be traded. It could possibly be a 3-team trade. I'm hearing that the Pelicans and the Blazers could be a part of that 3-team trade if that happens. The Spurs are going to kick the tires on Giannis. The Miami Heat are going to kick the tires on Giannis. And I think the Knicks, the Heat, the Nets, those are the teams that he will be looking at because he wants to stay on the Eastern Conference, according to ESPN's Big Perk. I don't know where he's going to go, but wherever he goes, we would think that it's going to be a team that's going to, be entertaining, and it'll be a good fit, and we will be ready to tune in to see his new journey with the new team. And we'll see how that goes. The Lakers and the Warriors are still probably going to be in it, especially the Warriors. But I don't know if a West Coast team really has a shot at getting him right now. He said his favorite city is New York to play in when he's on the road games, and I think that says a lot. I told you before, Madison Square Garden is going to be the Madison Square Garden of old. And you saw a little bit of that Friday night. You've seen all the stars courtside, front and center. Oh man, they were all there. You're about to see that again. Just like a Laker game, just on the right coast. This is what you're seeing when you watch the Knicks games. And I said that Zion Williamson or Giannis Antetokounmpo will be playing at Madison Square Garden at some point. And Cat was the big fish that they're using, the bait that they're using to get a bigger fish. They got a big fish, but they're looking for a whale if they can get Giannis. And they'll use that big fish and some picks for that. So, the Giannis sweepstakes. What's a good fit for Giannis? Let me know in the comments. Where is the best team for him to go? You know Pat Riley knows how to put a team together, make a trade, put superstars together. He did it with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. Now, Tyler Hero is the only person that probably wouldn't be up for trade in Miami. But what would they give up to go get a Giannis? Would Pat Riley do that? Is that his type of player? Not so sure. But I'm here in Miami. Of course, New York is the city that he would like to be in. So would it be Knicks? Would he even consider the Nets? And what about Toronto? Detroit Pistons? With these teams in the Eastern Conference where he would much prefer staying, but they make a move on him. That remains to be seen. Okay, enough basketball. Tomorrow is the day where I will give my prediction for Game 1 of the Timberwolves and the Thunder. And then I'll also give my prediction for the Knicks and the Pacers. Do you trust Braylon Brunson in New York, though, to win it all? Don't sleep on Halliburton and the Pacers. Don't sleep on them. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not pulling for the Pacers. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm just saying it's disrespectful for us to continue to sleep on the Pacers. They're watching that, and they're playing with a chip on their shoulder because of it. The Knicks better be prepared to run the floor, though, because the Pacers can run. But this is good, though. Pacers and Knicks, all the nostalgia. They're going back to NBC this fall. This is just great. I picked the Knicks to go to the finals. Well, I was going to pick the Knicks to go to the finals. Next year is when I said I'm going to wait to make that call next year when they get that big pond, that big fish that they're going to get, and they're back on NBC. I could be a year early with that. We'll see. We'll see. Now, back to the NFL now. Brock Purdy got a contract, like I said. It's a 5-year extension worth $265 million. $181 million is guaranteed. Congratulations to Brock Purdy. He got everything he wanted, including a no-trade clause. Yeah, he was able to pull that off as well. Congrats. Did the 49ers overpay Brock Purdy, or did they underpay Brock Purdy? This is the way I see it. Nobody's just talking about it like it's such a crazy move. Like, damn, the 49ers gave him that much? I don't really hear that. And I don't hear anybody complaining, saying that, oh, man, that's all they gave him? They could have gave him $60 million. They stopped at 53? Really? I think that's bull. I don't hear anybody complaining about him getting too much, or I don't hear anyone complaining about him not getting enough. He got signed, and I think everybody's comfortable with it, and I think everybody kind of thinks it's fair, especially the 49er fan base. I haven't saw any rants. I mean, look, is there room to rant a little bit based off what we saw from Purdy in 2024? Yes. But based off what we saw the previous years before 2024, you would say that, hey, the 49ers kind of got a bargain. So which one do you think it is? And I'm kind of leaning toward the latter here. Maybe the Niners did kind of get a bargain. If you waited till next year, you would have had to give them $60+ million, because the Niners, looking at their schedule for 2025, they're going to go back to the postseason. Whether they're the best team in the league or they're in their division or not, they're better than what their schedule looks like. So they'll overachieve a little bit. And Brock Purdy, his stock really, really blew up. So it was best to do it now. And after this season that they have, if they do win 11, 12 games, get to the playoffs, Brock Purdy has another good year. He can throw over 4,000 pass yards. He throws 30 touchdowns. He can cut the interceptions from 12 to 8. Then we'll say, hey, he's worth every penny. As a matter of fact, he's underpaid a little bit. He's already outplaying that contract. That's how it would have probably looked this year. Better it look like that than to wait and have to pay him a lot more. I think the Niners still kind of gave in a little too quick. They caved in, but hey, man, they didn't want any drama. They didn't want any problems. They wanted to get this stuff out of the way before training camp, and they did that, succeeded. They may even be about to finalize a new extension for Fred Warner. And that would mean that Warner, Purdy, Kittle, all three guys got taken care of before we even got the training camp. Even the first round draft pick has been signed. We may actually have the first no drama off season for the 49ers in quite some time. Because it was the Ayuk drama, it was the Kittle, the Bosa drama, him not coming until he got paid, and it skipped the year before that. I believe Debo, was talking shit and didn't want to get paid. He wanted to get paid and get out of there before he came back and stayed. So it's been drama with these people and these divas in their contracts. Purdy didn't want to be a diva at all. Got to give him credit for that. But that Purdy deal, what does that say about C.J. Stroud's deal? He's going into his third season, and if he balls, which I'm sure he will, if they fix that O-line, they get him some talent that can stay healthy and with the receivers, Stroud's stock is going to go up, and he may get closer to Dak Prescott money. This is going to be his third season. He's due for an extension after that. Does it look more like Purdy's contract, or will it look more like Dak Prescott's contract? Everybody passes everybody at some point here. I'm glad that we didn't break the market and surpass Dak Prescott, even though he's accomplished way more. We understand that he played with elite talent also. And he won't have all of that elite talent this year. However, he still has some good rock stars on that team. And I'll be the first one to say, I didn't cry about Greenlaw and Hufanga and Charvarius Ward leaving. I did not. Because I thought that, these are the guys who rarely play anyway due to injuries. And, Greenlaw was the best one that I hated to see go, but at the same time, we couldn't pay him. I knew that. Everyone else that has sense should have known that, and he's gone. And look what happened. As soon as he left, signs that big contract with the Broncos, even though we offered a little more, he wanted to be the leader over there, go ahead. Now he's hurt. I think he has a torn pec or something. He just can't win for losing. He's been tearing stuff a little bit lately here, and I thought it would have been a major mistake if we paid him Fred Warner money and he wasn't going to be really playing and suiting up next to Fred Warner a lot. So I think they let go of the right players. Yes, they had to draft an entire defensive class down there to replace those guys. And it may not pan out immediately. But if it does, oh, man, the Niners are definitely going to win 11, 12 games. And the Niners, could be a Super Bowl favorite, whether they win it or not. But this could be kind of like 2019. Surprise everybody, easy schedule, up, look out, here they come, they're back again. I know Debo's gone, but what about Ricky Pearsall? If he develops and gets better and progresses throughout the season, then we're going to hear Purdy to Pearsall quite a bit in 2025. Who will hold it down until BA comes back? Those are the things. But to answer the question, no, I don't think he's overpaid, but I don't think he's underpaid either. I think it's pretty fair. 53, hey, it could have been worse. It could have been more. It is what it is. It's 5 years. We'll see. I don't like the no trade clause. They'll have to just cut him to get rid of him. If the shoulder is a problem from last year, if the elbow was a problem from the year before that, the Niners are screwed. But let's see. Kyle Shanahan needs to do the one thing that he never does, and that's address the offensive line. Because now you have to protect your investment. That investment is worth $265 million. $181 million of it is guaranteed to that quarterback. You've got to protect him now. And that'll play a major part as to if he's overpaid or underpaid, the way it'll look. It'll all depend on how they protect him with those boys up front in the trenches. All right. So I talked about Brock Purdy. I don't think he's overpaid. I don't think he's underpaid. I think it's just right. Because when you add in this extra year here, plus the 5-year extension, it still comes out to around 45. It's 53 annually for the new 5-year extension. But when you throw this year in here, where he's getting like that 5 per, also still, that's 6 years, about 45 per. And that was the number that the Niners offered in the first place. So I'm not tripping. It's okay. I wouldn't have did the no trade clause, but okay, whatever. With Matt Stafford being older, Devontae Adams is there, but he's still older. Puka Nacua, yeah, he's good, up and rising. But, they've got the overall better talent, but no one can say that the Rams are still a better team or the best team. I think they are the best team in the division, but we don't know that for sure this season for how long. Did they improve or did they have some departures that are going to hurt them? I don't know. We'll see. But they're not going to have the easiest schedule. So whatever they got, they'd have to play some of the best teams in the other divisions respectfully. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I think that's it. I talked about Angel Reese. I talked about Caitlin Clark and that drama and how people are, pretty harsh on Angel Reese. And I know that's not a popular topic right now, it seems, to some people who don't want to hear that Angel Reese is taking a little bit too much heat. But I'm going to say it. I can read, and I don't like the things that I read. I'd never say those things about Caitlin Clark. I don't care what she does. But I don't think she would do anything worth talking about because she's a good young woman and she can play and she just wants to ball out. And she does a great job at it. And yeah, she definitely has changed the WNBA league. I'm just saying they shouldn't speak for everybody when they say everybody watches it, because everybody does not. I only watched it because of the nostalgia. And it was still more about those two ladies than it was the basketball game. So I talked about that. I talked about Brock Purdy's contract. Is he overpaid or underpaid? And the conference finals are all set. Who is going to the NBA finals? We're down to the final four. And I couldn't ask for a better final four. Couldn't ask for a better four teams. Couldn't ask for a better four teams. I mean, outside of New York, look at these small market teams in OKC and Indiana, the Timberwolves, Minnesota. This is different, and it's very unique, and I'm okay with it. I really am. I'm okay with it. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? What are we debating here? Nobody wants to come in and debate with me here? Podbean Live, YouTube Live. It's the Great Debate Show. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Hit the follow button. Hit that like button for me. Drop a comment. Subscribe to the Great Debate Show. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for me then. I don't really have much of anything else. It's gonna be a good week of conference finals action. WNBA is back. To all the Caitlin Clark fans, to all the Angel Reese fans or haters, they're back. How did you feel about game one? It was a blowout, of course, but it was just the first game of the season. Indiana Fever have a good team, though. The Chicago Sky, they don't have a good team, from what I saw. I'll do a little bit more looking. I'll try to anyway to see, who's who and what's what. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. What else is there worth talking about right now? I don't know. The Timberwolves and the Thunder tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel, where I will give you my prediction on game one of that series. Tomorrow, noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Pacific. Be there or be square. I'll be here to talk about it. But I wanted to get the Purdy contract stuff out of the way. Wanted to know what everybody thought about it because we talked so much about it. That was the biggest, greatest debate for the past few months. Purdy's probably going to get paid more than likely, but what's the right number? And it was kind of hard, because him getting drafted last, that's a lot of cloud. That's a lot of judgment that's a lot of stuff that will cloud your judgment. And then you look at what he did before last season. You look at where he's drafted, and it's like, is this really more him, or is this just a team? Is it just Shanahan, or what is it? We're about to find out now because he's not Mr. Irrelevant anymore. After that bag he just got Friday, he is Mr. Relevant, not irrelevant. And it won't take long for people to judge him and say if he deserves that contract or not, if he's earning that contract or not. The 49ers kind of paid Brock Purdy, though, based off his past. And you're supposed to pay your players based on their future, on what you think they're about to do. They bet on him to win games, to win championships. Forget what happened in the past. This is about right now. But that's not what they paid him for. They hope that he can continue to do that, but this is out of loyalty because Purdy saved Shanahan and Lynch's ass. Saved their jobs. Neither one of them would still be there right now had Purdy not panned out when he had to come in for Jimmy Garoppolo after getting injured, and he had to come in and finish that game that they won against the Miami Dolphins on that Sunday. And it worked out. He turned out to be good. The final pick of the draft, that saved their asses. Because after that Trey Lance debacle, losing 3 first-round picks, Purdy is what bailed them out. And so this contract is really the Niners' loyalty, them showing how grateful they are for him bailing their asses out. And again, I appreciate Brock Purdy too for that. I never said he shouldn't have got paid. I just wonder what he should get paid. And I thought that was very important. And it was, because everybody was talking about it on the internet and on television. Everybody. Okay. I think that's it. Oh, one more thing. The NFL are still going to have some meetings with the owners and everything this week. They're actually coming back to the topic on the tush push ban, the regular season overtime, and the seedings, the playoff seedings that the Detroit Lions complained about. And, the Minnesota Vikings, I don't know if they complained about it or not, but they should have. They won 14 games, right? They won 14 games last year and had to go to LA to play the Rams in a wild card game where they only won 10 games. They don't want to have to do that again. So I'm sure the Vikings will be voting, like the Lions will, for them to get rid of the divisional winners hosting playoff games, go by the seedings, or at least say, hey, not every division team doesn't deserve to not host a playoff game, but if they only won 9-10 games, then no, they're not hosting it. But if they won 12 games, 11-12 games, then yeah, they can. It just depends. But that's not cool for the Lions at 15 wins, the Vikings at 14 wins, but the Vikings have to go on the road just because they didn't have 15 wins. That's absurd. This is saying that the NFC North is just better than the NFC West. Period. Hands down. And again, I feel the same way if it was my team that had won 10 games and they got to host a playoff game. I know it's not fair for us to host a team that just won 14 games and we only won 10. I can go back to the 2013 season when the Niners won 12 games, but still had to go to Lambeau Field to play a wild card team in Green Bay, who had only won 9 games. That's ridiculous. So I think they need to change the seedings, and we'll see. They're actually thinking about it. I'm not saying that they're going to do it, but there are reports and rumors out there that they are seriously considering it. And I would not be upset if they did do it. I mean, it would be, for once, something that the NFL got right in the offseason. They make a lot of changes, but it's never for the better, in my opinion. It never benefits the fans. It either prolongs the game, hurts the game, makes it more softer, is more lenient, more convenient for the offense, for them to score, and make it harder on the defense and the corners who can't do any damn thing. But that's the NFL today, though. It's been 45 minutes, so I'm going to get out of here. That's all I got. We'll see how that goes. I'll let everyone know if they make any changes to those playoff seedings and playoff overtime rules and all of that. And I will be giving you a better breakdown and preview of the Timberwolves and the Thunder as they tip off tomorrow night, game 1. I'll give you my prediction then. Give me a little bit more time, though. I don't have to make it today. They don't play till tomorrow. Let's see. Of course, the Timberwolves are the underdogs, according to all the betting lines. But I'm not so sure if they are really underdogs. We'll see. One thing we learned about the Thunder is they can play. And they can win any type of way. They're ready for the moment. And they are gaining more experience as we go by. At some point, we're going to have to stop saying that they're inexperienced. They just won a Game 7 against a very experienced team in beating the Denver Nuggets. So, there we go. Indiana Pacers, New York Knicks, Minnesota Timberwolves, OKC Thunder. Let's get it popping. We'll see. We will see. Aaron Rodgers, is he going to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers by the end of this month? A report says he probably will. Somebody, the biographer of, I guess, his latest documentary or whatever, following him around, talking, hearing things, I guess, for whatever reason, he seems to think that Aaron Rodgers, by the end of May, will make it official, that he's a Steeler. We all think he is a Steeler, he just hasn't made it official. I don't know if he's waiting till camp or if he wants to skip all the camps and everything or what. But if I were the Steelers, I wouldn't allow that. let's see what happens here. I still say he's going to do it, but he's waiting and hoping that something happens somewhere else that he'd much rather be instead of Pittsburgh before he goes and commits to Pittsburgh. That's what I think he's doing, though. Okay, I don't really have anybody in here today, so I'm going to go and get out of here. No sense in continuing to talk to myself. I hope everybody can go back and watch the episode. If you coming in late, hit that rewind button for me, scroll back. I talked about Purdy being overpaid or underpaid. I talked about Caitlin Clark versus the Angel Reese drama and all the heat that she's getting online. I talked about the conference finals, and I will give you my predictions tomorrow on that. NFL could be making a few changes here as they're meeting again to talk about the overtime rules and the playoff seedings. And we'll go from there and see. And I also talked about Giannis Antetokounmpo. They said he was asked about where he loves to play at on the road. He said New York. And don't, count out the Knicks, as I've been saying, to make a run for Giannis. He just gave him the opportunity to do so as well. All right, that's it. I'm done. I hope everybody enjoys their Monday. Have a magnificent Monday, and I'll be back tomorrow on a terrific Tuesday, 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Pacific. Until then, until we yeet again, peace.